What's good? We are back. Of course, as usual, you know, compliments to the chef. You know how he do it. He just dropped the salad. I mean, his salads are like damn near like entrees. So I'm feeling good. Ready to go into this topic.
You feeling good off them shots.
That too. So y'all see who we got at the table. What you think?
I would say partially. I say it's a matter of art reflecting reality, and of course, at the root of such, it is in the household, it is in the home, right? But what you see out in the music industry is what people have been taught in the home. It ain't anything come from nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about. Nah, keep going.
Nah, I can't blame the music industry as a whole. It's the reason why people been dumbed down, but I can't ignore that music has been dumbed down from the 90s. Exactly. But what I see is a cycle, because I don't think hip hop always been dumbed down. I think back in the 80s, you know, it wasn't a lot of deep, heartfelt messages just coming out when Run DMC was rapping.
Right.
You know, they was just talking about my Adidas and, you know, you talk too much. They wasn't just sending out no heartfelt messages. So I think, like you said, it's always been garbage music. But at the same time, these children are very impressionable, and they do take a lot of what they listen to heart. A lot of these artists don't know that Master P got a degree, Ice Cube got a degree, that he was going to the University of Phoenix, Arizona when he was
Like, man, preach.
A lot of these people on the streets really believe that these rappers made it from selling crack on the street corner.
Right.
When
Everybody's pushing. What do we always say? Everybody's pushing weight.
He inherited money from his grandfather.
Right.
That's how he got his fortune to start rolling the records. So, you know, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Right. That's a powerful point, and
definitely.
I'm on board with the partial, because you know, one thing that we always have to specify on this show is the difference between hip hop and rap. You know,
Exactly.
we have to go back and differentiate between what is, in my opinion, now there is a rap industry, exactly, which is completely different than a hip hop culture.
Exactly.
You know, the rap industry, I think, right now is what influences pop culture. So, what influences pop culture is what these kids are grabbing hold of. You know what I mean? They see the messages. I'm, you know, of course, y'all know I'm big film. I'm a filmmaker, so
Exactly.
I'm big on images. The images that you see, ultimately, whether good or bad, positive, negative, that's what's gonna be the most impressionable. That's gonna send the biggest message. So guess what? These kids are gonna duplicate or try to emulate the images that they see. And I think in some way, yes, I would have to say that the pop culture / rap industry is in some way responsible for dumbing the entire culture down, because the images are everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's magazine, whether it's TV, whether it's radio, those are the images that they're getting. So they have no other means other than to pull from those images and say, okay, you know what, this is how life is, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a drug dealer turned rapper.
But is that pop culture's fault? Because you look at it from this viewpoint. Mm-hmm. Well, you have artists. You know, we live in a tap dance renaissance right now. Everybody want to cool, shuck and jive,
exactly.
whatnot. But technically, you know, a lot of cats just trying to eat. Whether you like them or I dig them, and you know, a lot of people do anything for the dollar. We always say that people do anything for the dollar. So if this is what is going to get food on their plate, you know, how can I help the poor if I'm one of them?
Exactly.
Type mentalities,
right?
You know, are they at fault? Because you have Plies who has a degree, but he still said on record he says pencil. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so people emulate that, and so it's a distortion of the English language.
Right.
But is that his fault for just trying to eat?
Well,
I mean, and is that me? Because you look at when we were kids, or the generation before us was kids, and we had certain things that we weren't supposed to see. And for the most part, your parents kept it from you. Now, of course, you know, I snuck and done things I wasn't supposed to do, but you know, it wasn't meant for me, and a lot of stuff isn't meant for these kids to be indulging in, but parenting has gotten very lax.
Brother, I'm gonna stop you right there because that's a good stopping point. I want to come back to that. Parents, we need to speak on that. We'll be back. Table Scraps TV. Come scrap with us, baby.
That was good. That was really something. That was actually good. It was. You did good, yo.
Drive you insane, drive you up the wall, staring at your dome.
Because you can't not want to do better for yourself.
Right.
You know, a parent can only take you so far, then it's up to you. You know, that's why birds push their, little birdies out the nest.
Exactly.
So they can fly on their own. You know, and it really is not real deep. You know, I don't really have to go too in depth. You know, it's just, it's a big parenting void.
Right.
Mostly fathers.
That it is.
Mostly fathers. That's a whole nother show, though.
Right, I agree with that.
I mean, there's a lot of bastards out
It
there.
is a parenting void.
A lot of bastards, man.
I agree with that.
You know, come and get your bastards. You heard the song.
Right. Exactly. You said the keyword discipline. You know, we got Bill Banks on the show. Thank you for joining us. You know, you're a martial artist. You know, how does something like discipline, how can that alter your lifestyle and what you grow up with in your culture?
Well, it changes everything. Like, it's no secret. I'm one of the older fighters at X3 Sports, so I call myself one of the OB1 Kenobi of X3 Sports.
Okay.
And what I find that being there, it first started out just me trying to stay in shape, and then I found out I had to mentor. There's a lot of young guys I had to mentor. They fathers are not home, and they're like coming to me for advice. Starting out with just, how you tighten up your abs, some more personal stuff. And I found out that I had to not just, I was like forced to not to just be an athlete there, but also be a role model. Now, I know her like people like, you just named him.
Moses Pond?
No, not Moses. One of the basketball players. Barkley, Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model.
Right.
What I like to say is, you may not want to be a role model, but when you in something like that, you're going to be a role model whether you like it or not. Because a lot of guys come, they look up, they see my athletic ability, and they see how well I'm performing in the ring and on the mat. And so they want to know more about me. So they just come to me about their woman issues, their girl, their mama issues, their daddy ain't there, their anger issues. And I got to be careful what I say because I can't just tell them anything. And then they be like, well, hey, when they get in trouble, what he told me.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
that's the key. That's the key right there. I mean, a lot of these kids, we talk about mentorship all the time. Leadership and mentorship on this show real heavy. So, providing that, allowing the kids to step out of the matrix for a minute, you know what I'm saying, living the life through Facebook, Twitter, it's cool to a degree, you know what I'm saying, it works, it does its thing, social media, that's a whole nother show.
It's fun, yeah.
But at some point in time, you step out of the matrix and, you gotta do something. You gotta
back into reality.
Exactly. Sometimes those events, like you said, sometimes maybe going to the gym might have saved a young kid's life. When we all heard the story, some kids would have either been on the street or they would have, if they hadn't walked into that gym, Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? So it's countless avenues, and like Bill said, it's fathership, it's mentoring, it's leadership, it's parenting.
And you have to be that way. When you see a boy, I just, I know I was against it, where I said, no, it's not their responsibility, but as a personal, quest, I feel like it's my responsibility, if you don't want to take this, there's a lot of people that, if it's not their responsibility to raise your kids, but when you present it with an opportunity or a situation where someone's looking to you, I feel you're obligated to do that, and that's just me personally,
exactly,
but